Hello and welcome to another episode of Never a Straight Answer, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics, from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host, Gaz, and joined in the studio, as always, the guy you definitely need to check your back seat for. It's Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, hello, thank you. Really,
welcome everybody to the show.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween. Well, we're a day a bit out, but
day in front, day behind, don't matter, does it, Ralph?
Doesn't really matter.
No.
But yeah, it's kind of like we've had a Halloweeny spooky month, which has been pretty cool,
yeah.
and I think a lot of people have enjoyed it. And
we hope so.
Well, we had really good response to the zombie episode last week, so much so that we've got stuff to talk about zombies carrying on from last week when people have just carried on the conversation.
Yeah.
But generally we've had haunted houses and, a bit of chaos magic.
Yeah.
Bit of this, bit of that. It's been a pretty spooky month.
Yeah.
So,
you're not wrong.
Yeah. Cheers for everyone who's got involved and answered questions and stuff.
Yeah.
We like the question segment. So
we'd like more.
Everyone, just if you've got any questions, doesn't really matter if it's on topic.
Yeah.
If you want to try and stump us,
stupid, good
send
question.
a question over.
Don't matter.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So So like I say, I'm Gaz. Co-host is Mr. Taylor. What have you been up to this week, Mr. Taylor?
Me, not a lot really. Work.
You said you said you saw an endangered species.
Oh yeah, I saw an endangered species.
What was that? He's told me, but tell the listeners.
It's
in fact, you didn't really give me the whole info, so go for it.
I didn't. Well, it was a hedgehog.
A hedgehog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was running away from all the fireworks.
I'm surprised, to be honest. It was like bloody going off.
For those who didn't know, they're considered now as an endangered species.
Really?
Yep. They're
That's
on the
sad.
list.
That is pretty sad. I've had them in my garden quite a lot.
I haven't seen one for a long time, except for on the tile.
Thing about hedgehogs is, just basically wildlife generally. And,
losing a lot of it at the moment.
Yeah. That's it, isn't it? It's kind of going downhill because...
I don't know. I think it's just changed.
Because we kind of just talking about... Oh yeah, tonight's episode of Urban Legends, but we are too urban. We've basically took too much of the land up, where there's nothing left for the local wildlife. That's why red squirrels are so kind of minor now.
Yeah, I think there's only one place in Scotland where they are.
Yeah, a couple of places. No, I've seen something on the news about a guy who was doing some. Is he
spreading it around? Yeah, we need it.
Yeah, no, where was he? He was doing some photography on squirrels, and he basically got red squirrels to come into his garden.
Oh, sweet!
And he'd built an obstacle course.
Oh yeah,
and he was doing some photography from his conservatory, but he was getting some really cool shots.
Oh, good.
And I can't remember where he was from, but he was from kind of the north. Well, I think he was pretty sure he was from the northwest.
Right.
Okay. So red squirrels are about. They're just not as frequent as they used to be.
Well,
and obviously the grey squirrels have took over, but it is pretty sad that all these local wildlife is out.
Well, it's like flatworms as well. Do you remember them?
Flatworms?
Yeah. Flatworms were coming in and ripping our worms apart.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's it, isn't it? That's why Australia
don't talk about a lot of them.
Very stringent about what comes in.
Yeah.
Because you can get these foreign insects and stuff that come in and they just ruin the
ecosystem around the area. Yeah.
So,
no good.
Yeah. So, So, you said it was running away from the fireworks. So,
well, it was in the gutter.
Right. Oh, bless it.
Yeah, but it was. Apparently, a couple of kids were messing around with it earlier.
Well, our American friends and listeners, we have a celebration over here on the 5th of November.
Yeah.
And we have a little rhyme that goes, remember, the 5th of November.
Yeah.
For the guy, what is it?
For the Guy Fawkes, yeah.
Yeah, but what's the rest of the song? It's remember, the 5th of November, the gunpowder, treason and plot.
Yeah.
Is it something like that? Yeah.
Something like that. I can't remember. I haven't sang it for a long time.
So it's all about Guy Fawkes and how he tried to, blow
destroy
up the Houses of Parliament.
Yeah.
And every year we do celebrate the fact that he was caught. on the 5th of November.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's when it gets to around this time of year.
What do you reckon would have
It's
happened?
absolutely ridiculous with fireworks.
Oh yeah, it's actually illegal apart from the night. Apparently,
It's like 4th of July, I suppose, but without as much patriotism.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
don't know at the moment.
A terrorist.
I don't know at the moment. I
Isn't
think there's a lot against Parliament at the moment.
I know, yeah. So, well, they do the celebrations every 5th.
We're still looking for Guy
I suppose
Fawkes.
this is the closest weekend to the 5th, isn't it? So most people would have had their party this weekend or next.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I was talking to someone about that the other day, actually.
Yeah, well, you see, I've not had I was thinking about doing a bonfire and a Halloween, bonfire thing myself, but I just ended up not doing it. It's been going into what I've been up to, been working myself, but been all over the place. I've been like every week I've been coming back saying, "Oh, I've been here, there, and everywhere." Yeah. So this week's just been the same. So yeah, went to.
You're like a dirty hobo, man. You like going everywhere.
I'm like the littlest hobo. I just all that. It's like the scene at the end of the Incredible Hulk when he just go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's looking over his shoulder.
What was that one with the dog where he walked away?
That was the littlest hobo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's like it just got to get places, and I'm off on adventures.
Yeah.
But and it was in a race course yesterday.
Yeah.
And then back for the weekend, back for some podcasting.
Yeah, man.
So
jealous on that in the race course.
Oh, it's interesting. I brought you some stickers.
You have? Yeah.
I said you can pimp your car up now. He said you can go over like Boy Racer with all the Michelin stickers on your car. Yeah. Get some what are the neons for underneath you light up your car.
Oh, you're not even allowed them now.
Stick a big
legal to have them.
What was it? I've been in a few friends' cars where we've been pulled over and they've said you can't have those italic number plates.
Yeah,
that's illegal.
Yeah,
it's like why? It's like, well, we need to be able
because we say so.
Because we need to be able to read it from a distance.
Yeah. So they want money off you now, and you change the plates and go off your pop.
Off your pop, son.
Yeah. We've earned some money. You've been robbed. You just don't realise it. See you next time when I see you down the road. I'm going to check your number plate.
But I'll tell you what, I do actually really love Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a nice city.
I've been there for a long time.
It's just got it's grand as anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like so wide open, but the buildings are just. It's got great architecture. The people are really nice.
Yeah.
The city's really cool.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that it's kind of like built on top of itself about 3 times. It's lovely.
Yeah, and I don't want them to leave.
What?
To be honest.
Leave what?
I don't want them to leave England or the Union. Yeah. I never wanted them to leave Union.
No, I don't. I think, this is it. It was like,
really
actually, was having a really good chat with somebody who I met over in Edinburgh, and they were saying about, we were talking about kilts.
Oh, yeah.
And they were saying, do you I said, I need to get my kilt. And, all right, what's your last name? So I was like, I told him my last name, which I do have a kilt. Yeah. I've got a tartan. Yeah. And, so I was like, I definitely need to get it. So
you've got a bit of land, haven't you, up there as well?
A bit of land, yeah. I'm a
tree stump.
I'm a laird.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I've got a square foot of land, which makes me a laird, which is actually a real title. Yeah, the Scottish landowner.
Yeah.
Well, got me a tartan. I've got me tartan. I've got me land.
What are you going to do if they leave? You're going to go back home?
No, just
you're going to go on your land.
I'm going to put it on Airbnb and just do with a little tent and just say rustic camping opportunity.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Why not?
or erect
a toilet,
erect a statue of myself. Yeah, because I was saying actually, there's no height restriction on it, is there?
Oh, yeah,
you've got a square. If you own a square foot of land, you've obviously got a bit of you've got a bit of length and depth, square foot.
Stick a pair of ladders in there.
Well, can you go higher than a foot high?
You'd have to ask
have you got height restrictions? Because this is the thing, isn't it? Because I was thinking it's about tower blocks.
Yeah.
If you own a car park, then you've owned that small square of land in a city centre, but then you can always kind of go up.
Well,
you know
you
what I mean?
You can to certain standards,
that car park lot of land is suddenly worth a hell of a lot more because you've been able to maximise how your selling potential.
Unless you've got jealous people around you.
Turn it into flats, and then you've got you've turned a little scrap of land into fucking however many condos or apartments.
Yeah, you can be a multi-millionaire by the time.
Just based off a little bit of nothing.
Yeah.
That you thought, it was just a car park.
Yeah, but it all depends on the people around, because if you're blocking their view on something, then they can stop it. Oh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. It all comes down to
you got to be nice and sweet with the neighbours.
You've got to be able to know somebody in the planning department.
Yeah, who's willing to take that brown paper bag, and there's more than one or two, I reckon, around.
Every movie dictates to me that is the case.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Every time I watch a movie,
Everyone's
there's
got
always some DA or some sort of fucking governor who wants to pass some shady bill.
Yeah.
And they have to go, we did to do some deals because... So, it's like this stuff doesn't come out of nowhere.
Right. My brother was livid this week.
Urban legend, all of it.
Over what he heard about the NHS. He was livid over it. He's even considering becoming a politician over it now.
I love that, actually, when people go, do you know what, I'm that angry. That, I didn't give a shit about politics, but this has got me so angry that I'm actually...
no, we've always been into
I'm going to run for mayor.
Yeah, because he's found out that majority of MPs have a financial bit in the NHS.
Okay, so explain.
And he was surprised how many had connections in the NHS to earn off the top.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. By saying, we'll let you test this, that.
Oh, we might have shares, or we might have a little, your company.
But
I've got a company over here who I'm a part of who's going to give you
get
this
your drugs into our
you know what I mean? That kind of stuff,
yeah.
I knew there was a lot, but I didn't realise how many, though. My brother was so livid, he goes like, I've wanted to throw the TV out the window. It was like,
it doesn't really
surprise me, to be honest.
No.
Wherever there's big business, there's dodgy money. There's always dodgy money, it don't matter, and everyone's chasing the money. Because everyone needs the money, because there's someone else who wants your money.
Yeah, everyone wants your money.
Yeah, man. Everyone wants your money, so you've got to go and gain it and be careful on where you spend it.
Yeah, true. Did you, going back to the Halloween stuff, did you do anything over Halloween?
No, not really, no.
I was going to go to a party, but then, couldn't let the listeners down. So,
it was tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's tonight, yeah.
I could have gone to a party tonight.
Oh, was you?
Yeah.
You could have come to the same party I was going to.
No.
Well, cheers for that.
Different one.
Yeah, nice one for coming down, and I'm always happy to do podcasting. But, but let us know if you went to a Halloween party, let us know what you went as.
Yeah, and see if there was if you got any pictures, any funny costumes, or.
To be honest, it was I think there's going to be a lot of Jokers out there again this year. Because obviously the new Joker movie, so I think there's going to be a lot of people going.
Yeah, and Deadpool as well.
Going to be fresh.
There'll be a lot of people doing that.
Told you at Comic Con that was all we saw. Deadpool.
Yeah. Well, he's big, isn't he? Big, red, and daft.
Yeah. I found a couple of studies on Halloween. The Mirror has put a study out there. What they're saying that according to a study, that basically Halloween is becoming too frightening.
I think a lot of things are fearing a lot of people. To be honest, I think there's a lot of different things, like the things you see on TV now, to what you used to, or the things you see online, or there's a lot of things. There's a lot of frightening on a lot of things like. Oh, we're going to get hit by an asteroid. Oh, we're going to have World War III. Oh, we're going to not have Brexit.
I think it comes all down to more that people are protecting the kids a little too much. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's deliberately done. It's deliberately done.
The research comes from Legoland Windsor Resort, right? And they're saying that their studies revealed changing attitudes into Halloween. Basically, 3 in 10 British participants had never told their children a ghost story. So they're not kind of they're too sensitive. Do you know what I mean? So when they come into contact with like a scary mask or a Halloween costume, then they freak out because they don't really understand. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it all depends on the age of the kid. I mean, depending on the questions that you ask someone, depends upon the answer, and the question could be differently spread across the board in different ways, and you'll get a different answer all the time.
Yeah.
So,
well, according to this study, most parents will either change the ending to a story to not upset the kids.
Well, you don't have to be too graphic, but you've got to make them realise about what reality's going to be coming instead of giving it because otherwise they're going to find out in a way of they didn't realise, they didn't know, and the shock's going to be there. And then instead of him, the child being told about it, this is what happens. This is what happens.
Are we wrapping our kids in cotton wool? Are they being a bit too smothered? I don't know.
I think.
Legoland.
To be honest,
I didn't realise Legoland was doing such scientific research. To be honest, but you know what I mean.
It's a bit.
Well done.
Then again, anyone can do.
Oh yeah,
their own research.
Get the polls going.
Yeah, but like I said, it all depends on the actual questions that they say and the actual answers. Because it can always change. You can ask a question different ways.
Well, our Halloween is been spooky. I got some sweets in for the kids.
Yeah.
Right, but then ended up working away, and I was away Halloween night. So
he knew he was coming back and having all them sweets.
I've got a big bowl of sweets here now. Well, never mind.
I'm munching some of them, so I'm all right for tonight. I don't know about you.
Well, anyway, we'll move on to the news.
Yeah.
It's a news.
Boo-boo.
So the news this week, it's been a pretty busy one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, got a couple of news stories related to cannabis. Got a couple of news stories on the NASA and space front. Few silly stories. What have you got to talk about, Mr. Taylor?
Me? Let's start off with the big one.
Go on, what's this?
We've got an election coming, boys.
He's got an erection coming up.
We've got an election. Yeah.
What's this going to solve now? Because is it just going to be a case of that, like, we don't... Right. So an election says to me that, like, the Conservatives at the moment have to deal with this problem, right?
Yeah, because they haven't got a majority no more.
Yeah, right. But, is that what it all comes down to?
This is basically because it just tit and tat.
Isn't this going to be a bit of a piss take when it gets to the point where, say, Labour get in... Yeah. Right, and they win election.
They ain't getting it.
Right. Well, just for argument's sake, they do. Yeah. Right. Does that mean that they've got to then come up with a whole? Will they want to scrap the whole deal
if they've got the majority? They reckon they're going to.
Does that mean that there's going to be a potential, more of a potential delay?
There'll be a new deal.
Yeah, I know, but how long have they got?
6 months. They've said.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. It's like 6 months and another year, and then
they reckon they can do it in 6 months. Then, like we've been trying for fucking 3 years. Over 3 years.
Who was saying they can do this?
Labour.
Right.
6 months.
That's what I'm saying. Right. So
it ain't going to work.
Well, either way, it doesn't seem like it's going to work because it just feels like that with the passing the buck and we're going to end up staying in. Do you know what I mean?
Well, no. Farage yesterday offered, which is in charge of the Brexit Party, told basically the Conservatives that come to us before the 14th of this month and we can fight this together. And we won't send in any politicians against any area that you're in. So Labour or anyone else can sneak in there.
We should write a joint letter from all the people of the UK, right?
No.
Saying, no, listen, just to not to anyone from our end, to Europe going, right, we're out now, bye. Yeah.
We should have done that.
I don't understand why it's being kind of fucking dragged out so long.
It's business. Well, contracts and business. Well, that's what it all comes down to.
Well, this is it though. But they're putting democracy to shame. Basically, they're just.
Well, they're taking a mockery of it.
This isn't democracy. A democracy is you have a vote, the people speak, and then you do something about it. It's not. all right, we'll eventually get round to listening to the people. What the people have spoken, all right, we'll eventually get round to doing what they want. Yeah. That's not what we hire these people to do. You know,
well, have you heard what
it's
Angela Merkel
almost
said?
like a dictatorship where or a pretense. They're pretending to have this front of democracy.
They think this is a great deal because we're still in
democracy there.
Yeah,
you know
it will be. It won't be a Brexit. This deal is not going to be a Brexit, basically, because we're still connected there. We still have to follow some of their rules, so we have no sovereignty. Now, Brexit is there for full sovereignty, and Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, got caught out last week. Was it last week? Yeah, I think it was last week. Turning around saying that Britain, when they leave, ain't going to be a friendly country. It's going to be our competition. So if we can get a great deal now, then we can take them out later on.
Ah, yeah, see.
So, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's beneficial for them because they're thinking of the markets and that, because especially Germany. Germany's shares are basic to do with the European markets. If that goes, they're fucked.
That's what I mean. I never thought they wanted us to leave with what we want. Do you know what I mean?
The second country to pay the most in there, and like out of the all of the 28, like the 3 biggest who contribute and like, you know, run it basically.
Yeah. Well,
but
talking about Europe,
yeah.
I've got this news story here. Yeah,
Ooh.
Right. Dutch smugglers.
Oh, Dutch ones.
Right. So Dutch smugglers used gone-off pizza cheese to hide £5 million of cannabis. And when I say £5 million, £5 million in money.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the authorities say the pair were part of a wider crime gang.
Yeah.
And obtained from 2 units on a Slough estate, like an industrial estate.
Yeah.
They basically unpacked it all, and it was basically hiding half a ton of cannabis among bags of gone-off pizza cheese.
Good idea.
So they've been jailed.
How long did you get, did they say?
Well, I don't know, to be honest.
Got a bit of what?
Well, they were caught when the packages were investigated at Dover.
Yeah.
Back in 2016. So,
see.
Yeah.
Right.
But basically, yeah, they got caught with.
We prefer the homegrown, don't we, son?
Value. Yeah, we don't want no import. What you doing? Glad it, and plus hiding it with cheese.
Well, yeah.
Maybe that's where the name comes from, because they've been they call it what is it? Oh, it's cheese.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay. Does it come?
I've had it in shampoo bottles, and you can taste the shampoo in it. Yeah.
Well,
that was from.
This is it. You see, people will hide it anywhere, right? Yeah. You know, in terms of trying to smuggle it, right? Yeah, smuggling mules and all the rest of it.
It's just about money.
Well, I've got this other story. Well, not always, but sometimes it's about personal consumption as well.
Oh yeah.
So this one was a man who attempted to smuggle cannabis into prison by hiding it in a balloon up his nose.
Up his nose?
Yeah.
How the fuck up his nose? He couldn't get what? Did he have an 8-foot there or something? Did he have a big nostril?
Well, basically, it was up there for 18 years.
Oh, shit.
Right? His doctor reported a unique case in the paper published in a British medical journal under the heading a nose out of joint. Yeah, was what the paper was called. And according to a lead author, Dr. Murray Smith of Westmead Hospital in Australia, the patient was first given the cannabis inside a rubber balloon when his girlfriend visited him in prison.
Yeah.
And then the man basically got it stuck up his right nostril when he was hiding it from a prison guard.
Yeah.
Right?
Couldn't get it back out. Forgot about it.
Well, he thought he'd ended up swallowing it, right? He was unable to retrieve it.
Oh, shit.
And it basically thought it had slipped past him and eventually made it into his throat and swallowed it, in the night or something like that. He couldn't feel it. Over the next 2 decades, the balloon developed into a sore, and basically fell into a nasal cavity and formed as a calcium sort of deposit. Yeah.
Oh my days!
So he's basically had it removed now.
Now he can breathe again.
So he's had so 3 months after the surgery, the patient is reported that he's all of his symptoms it was causing has disappeared.
Did he smoke it after?
He's on the mend. Oh, dread to think. I bet it was a bit grim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, that's what I mean. You hide it anywhere, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's talking about a dark fucking spot to hide it in. Jesus.
Oh no, I mean, how big was the balloon? That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it mustn't have been.
It must have had a big. Yeah, it must have been really. Are you sure it must have been something else? It can't have been just weed. There's a little bit of weed. Just imagine putting like
calcium deposits.
Yeah, you're not going to fit up.
2 decades. It was up there.
And he didn't know. He didn't work out that there was.
Might have been some hash, some hashish.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah,
but
potentially a little block of it.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, some new results have come in on, the Nazca mummy.
The Nazca mummy?
Yeah, well, it was found...
Is this near the Nazca lines?
Yeah.
As I take
it. Peru.
Yeah.
They found the mummy, didn't they? And they x-rayed it and done all this kind of stuff to find out, and they've sent off DNA, and now DNA's come back.
Right.
And it's recording on the DNA that 25% of it was human.
Right, okay.
The rest of it, 75% of it is unknown, but you've got to include stuff like...
Unknown?
Unknown.
Well, what do you mean? So do you think it might be some potential, like, some sort of alien-human hybrid?
Well, it's looking... This is... a little bit more evidence.
It's funny because the Nazca lines and the Nazca paintings, right? They say that they were a marker for alien UFOs. Do you know?
Oh, did you hear what happened the other week?
Because nobody would have been able to see them apart from above.
Funny about that. About seeing them, right? Well, no one's allowed to drive on there, yeah. But a lorry driver went on there and he went across there, got fined. But good job he did do it.
Why?
Because underneath there's some more markings.
So he's ended up uncovering some more...
Yeah, he's uncovering more markings. Yeah, and he's like, what the hell?
So what made him think he could just cut across?
Don't know, some kind of donut, man.
Oh, what a donut.
He's like, I could get across there without anyone knowing.
He probably didn't think that there was anything there, and it was just a shot across.
Well, basically.
And then, like I say, it's stuff that you can only see from above. So
yeah. Otherwise, it just looks like normal
road, or road, or
it's grassland, isn't it? Really, it's just like.
How wide are the lines? Because I mean, could they be mistaken for like a track or a road? I suppose
about a foot across.
Yeah, they could then.
Length is just fucking however long you want to fucking.
There you go. Then probably could get a mistaken.
Yeah, but people around the area must know about it.
Still a bit of a donut,
and know it's illegal.
Yeah.
So why are you gonna? I think he was local. You know what I mean? So if he was donut, but good donut.
Oh well, he should have known better than if he was local. It wasn't like he was just a rally, not a rally driver, a fucking lorry driver.
Well, they couldn't even believe that they couldn't see these markings from satellites.
Well, they've probably done scans and stuff, haven't they?
And they didn't realise it was new markings. So now. There's going to be, I don't know what they're going to do, uncover him or what, because if they do, then they uncover what's on top. And there's already great stuff on top, so,
so what's
underneath? It could be fucking shit, you know
so
what I mean?
What's, going back to this mummy, so what's happening there?
Well, Maria, as they've named her,
right,
is basically, the 75% unknown will be including stuff like, the embalming stuff.
Yeah.
Like normal germs, including there. But there's more tests going ahead. The Peruvian government are sort of ignoring it at the minute, trying to basically not talk about it.
Not really acknowledging it as a thing.
Yeah. But these tests have happened all around the world. There's different places. That I've tested and they're coming out with the same results, but I went a little bit more into it, and it turns out it's not as easy as it seems to ask the question.
Who was it who discovered it, by the way? Because there's a guy, and he's basically
remember his
very
name.
prolific
He's an archaeologist
/ alien hunter.
Yeah.
And he's
brought
put,
things.
Is it the same guy? He's brought
bodies
stuff forward
before, and it ends up at the end of it that it was actually fake.
Yeah, but that if it's the
but
same
it's not
guy,
necessarily
then,
he's faking people.
Yeah, I know, but it's not that. It's just that you just get to the point where you just don't buy into it anymore. I'll find out what he's called actually. Yeah. So go on, keep.
Well, I thought this when I first heard this. I think it was last year that they found it. So I had a little look into it, and I remembered the stories in the past that, he's brought things forward and it hasn't worked. I mean, he's brought it right to the public, papers and everything like that, and then it just ended up about a couple of weeks afterwards that it wasn't what he thought. But that doesn't mean that he did it. It just means he found something, he believed in something, he had it checked out, and then, the checks went to the certain point where it ended up it wasn't what he thought it was.
There was a story about, and I've got a story here I've found, the same guy it was, but it was an alien skeleton, had been found in Chile, and basically they done some DNA testing on it.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be a child aged 6 to 8.
Yeah.
Just had an elongated skull.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah. That was the last one before this.
Doesn't appear to have his name on here though. I can't find it. But
he's
Cola burp.
Well, if you look into the Nazca mummies, then people, their views out there can find out.
Yeah,
a
it's
little
just
bit more
like
about
I say, I find it difficult to buy because he's had so many sort of debunked in the past. You know what I mean? It's like I know he's fair dues to the guy. He's going out going, this next one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
this next one it'll be real. I promise you.
He's actually going and getting these things tested. He thinks it's one thing and he finds out it's not, or someone else finds it's not. Then he's trying it, but up to now, the way things are going on, there's going to be some more years of testing of this mummy, but by the looks of things, and straight from the knuckle is where they got the DNA. They got the DNA from several different places, like a little bit from the skull, a little bit from the knuckle, a little bit from the knee, a little bit from the foot. So they could work things. They could get a bit of DNA from every part of the body. So there was techniques to try and make the DNA more pure, and it seems to be working.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, yeah, the technology always comes up, and this is we had a story a couple of weeks ago, didn't we, where it was the body was being exhumed because they could now do DNA testing on it.
Yeah.
They
long
couldn't.
case, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Cold
it was
case.
a couple about 30 years, I think, had gone
3 decades,
by.
I think it
but
was.
they reckon they could crack it now.
Yeah.
Crack it with modern tech.
But I'm starting to get a bit more. I believe in the DNA kind of structure and the RNA, because that's another count that you can find out.
RNA?
Yeah.
Go on, I'd never heard of this.
RNA is like DNA. It's basically another form of information. But it's difficult stuff.
I'll have to have a look into it because I've never heard of it. If the RNA it's like your data on the web.
Yeah.
Essentially, I bet there's another data set of all sorts of stuff on you that you don't even know about.
But don't forget, they don't even know.
Mr. Taylor watches porn more than anybody else on the internet.
No.
Fact.
No.
99% of the time.
No, about 98.
No, I'm joking. All right, 98. 97 and a half.
Yeah, 99's a bit pushing it, you know what I mean? I need time to rest.
Yeah, he needs to. Others are YouTube
After a few minutes, I need to rest. About an hour.
Any other news you want to talk about?
A bad loss today.
Go on.
For England.
Oh, in the football?
In
the rugby world.
In the rugby.
Rugby.
Yeah, Japan. Yeah, we lost, didn't we? 32-12, I'm afraid.
Oh, dear.
At least they reached the final.
You see, I've not really followed the sports, so go on. Was this important?
It was the World Cup of Rugby.
Oh, right, okay.
So for rugby fans, I'm not a rugby fan.
Well, no, we're well in for acknowledging them and being sympathetic and supportive. Just don't do. I mean, people are always asking me being a Mancunian, and they go, "What? So what are you then? A red or a blue?"
Red.
Well, that's what you'd say, but I'd say neither. You know, when they go, what?
Why?
Mancunian who doesn't do football. Well, yeah, exactly.
What's wrong with you, weirdo?
No,
oh my God, I thought I knew you, and I
other things to think about. Got other stuff to do. Do you know what I mean? Don't really kind of get. It was a point of where I was a City fan for years. Yeah, right. And then it was like I was thinking about it back in the 90s, and I was like, do you know what? I know more United players' names than I do City players.
See, so you're a United
no,
fan.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
you don't want to go to the dark side. You want to come with the red side, man.
It was a case of that I just don't do football. I just don't do it. It's
What's
not
wrong
a case
with you?
of just doesn't appeal to me.
Didn't know you were a weirdo.
Doesn't appeal. Yeah, well, you know now. So you know.
I do. I fucking know. I have to think about things.
No, some people don't like, I'm into kind of like.
I gotta admit, lately I haven't
stuff,
been into the footy.
Into other stuff.
Yeah, I don't mind at the time.
I don't mind
the brain power of
the World Cup and stuff when it's kind of like a national thing. Yeah, where the whole country's behind one team. Yeah,
everyone should be.
But like league football or like regional football. Bores me. I just think it's like, even because back in the day as well, people used to support the local team. Yeah. Right? That's not the case anymore. Yeah. You could go to people in Manchester and say,
all to do with money.
Who do you support? Yeah. And they go, Liverpool, I support Arsenal, I support whoever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it's supported by money, innit?
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Oh, well, sorry, my phone just started being Alexa and stuff and started asking questions. I don't know what happened there.
But yeah, little clubs have lost out over the years. And there's even clubs being like, finishing, gone forever, never come back.
That's what I mean.
And it is a shame. But everything's at the top and they need to spread it a bit more down.
What I think is as well, like you say, there's too much money in it. It's like
it grows every year. Billions upon billions.
It used to be a working class sport. What happened there? And I mean, this is coming from somebody who doesn't really even know much about it. But I wouldn't say so. We'll commiserations. Are they out then of the World Cup league
final?
Was that the final?
That was the final. This is what I mean. They want to be. They want to be. They played.
Well done for getting that far, guys. Yeah. Well, apologies because, like I say, it's like apologies for my ignorance.
Apparently, there were some bad rulings against them as well. So that possibly affected it. I don't really know myself because I didn't see the match. Because, like I said, I'm not a rugby fan. But good on him for trying and getting as far as he did. And good luck for the next one. The next one, just get your head down. You'll get there. You'll get there again. I think it was 2005 they did the last one.
Well, next time it's like they do well, I suppose.
Yeah,
I suppose
they done really well. Really, the
thing
final.
Is though, it's like Brilliant. In England, especially, it's like I wish that they just win something. Do you know what I mean? Like, and just, because they do put their heart and soul into it, but they always get pipped to the post for some reason.
Yeah, but not everyone can be a winner, you know what I mean? You've got to, someone else has worked just that little bit harder.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, they'll get their chance.
Yeah, they get their chance if they persevere with what they know and what they do, and if they can get their training a little bit better or their organisation a little bit better, or, they may only need a key player. Because I heard that something about, I think there was a key player taking off early hours or something on it. So I don't know what happened there. But I think that was a key player that if that person would have stayed on, they might have actually been a draw to a win, you know what I mean?
There you go.
These are the chances you take,
You're turning into a fucking sports pundit.
I am.
Ah, yes, we're live from the
I don't know
the stadium.
About it,
yes.
If
we're watching
like
key players are being taken off the pitch.
It might have been that. It might have been this.
Don't know. Well, like I say, fucking sorry they didn't make it.
Sorry, lost, but you got to the final.
Got some NASA news.
Go on then.
We should be moving on. Mercury. Apparently, it's got a bit of a backspin on it, and it's causing some celestial chaos.
Oh.
Yeah. So we'll find out about this now. So in case you haven't heard or felt a sense of dread in the air, Mercury's going into retrograde on Halloween. Yeah, so the spookiest night of the year, there's going to be a celestial shift that may be a little important, basically, in horoscopes.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Well, is that all? Yeah, just horoscopes. But basically, yeah, so what is retrograde?
Retrograde.
Yeah, so, well, basically, who knows what anything really means. But when you say Mercury's in retrograde anyway, it has become almost basically a bit of a cop-out for bad vibes. Do you know what I mean? Right. So, like, all these, like, astrologists are basically saying that, oh, yeah, but if you're feeling negative or anything like that.
They used to say that about the moon and the men.
Well, that's what they're saying now about Mercury. Mercury... If you're having a bit of a bad week, Mercury's in retrograde.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Right, mate.
Oh, my coffee tastes like shit. You know why? Mercury's in retrograde. That's what it is.
We're blaming everything but our fucking selves.
Hashtag Mercury in retrograde. If you're having a shit day, Mercury retrograde. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, it's bollocks, man. It's bollocks, son. Bollocks.
Will it affect you?
Will it? Well, you know what? It's like the moon kind of thing that they say, like full moon affects a man. It makes him more aggressive, but in a funny kind of sort of way. It can actually cause
actually cause problems actually in real life in terms of non astronomy.
Well, majority
not astronomy water. In terms of right. So all right then, if a planet starts reversing its orbit, or its spin, it's going to definitely cause problems.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
So, it could cause, problems with, transportation technology.
Yeah.
Timing.
Yeah.
Scheduling conflicts. All sorts of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Like I said, like 75% of you is roughly water.
Right.
So, what moves our oceans? The moon.
The moon, yeah.
So it must have some minute, I grant it that, minute effect on the human body. It must have some kind of little effect on it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
If it changes if it has the effect of the ocean and the power of movement of that, well, it's like 75% of the world is the ocean as well. That's a kind of fucking thing.
Well, are they too far away, Mercury, to affect us? But like you say, some sort of chaos in the cosmos.
Yeah,
like it must cause something. It's like
Neptune.
Well, what about Neptune?
Neptune's warming up from the inside.
What, like it's gonna?
Yeah, there's something going on with it. Yeah, scientists are baffled. It's like what's going on? But like I go on about the climate change thing. The solar system is warming up.
That's what I mean.
Why?
It's like it's not even a case of all right then. So you can't blame if it's the solar system that's warming up. How can you blame Earth problems on? I mean, we have to take responsibility, but like I say, no one will ever suggest
we don't have full responsibility.
That there's something else going on. Yeah, right. But is this whole climate change some sort? Is it a conspiracy in itself? Is climate change a conspiracy where that's your answer to everything?
Yeah, it is because it is about money
but you need to explain that, right? You can't just go money, right? But listen, let me just finish what I'm saying, right? So, thank you.
You're all right.
So, is it a big conspiracy where they're saying, climate change is happening? Yeah, right. Now, I'm not disputing it's not, right? For a start,
proportion of it, portion not,
but. Is it kind of like keep you guys busy, but obviously explains the conditions, because obviously things are warming up, right? But, so that means that people are going to ask questions and you need to give them an answer, right?
Yeah.
But if there's something going on that's like, a bit more bigger than that, like a universal
they ain't going to tell you out straight.
Then you might find that a bit more difficult to explain to the just common man, man or woman on the street.
Yeah, because they go out and riot. There'd be more people dead before the action.
So could it be all just a big cover-up to hide the bigger problem?
To be honest, I think it is. Right, it's funny how it's weird how our solar system is like a clock. The clock works. Now, in reality, it should be chaos, but it's not chaos. It's in order. Now, with that being in order, there's something making a chaos, starting a chaos
Making
now.
the chaos.
But don't forget as well, our solar system's being pulled.
Do we know?
To another area of space.
Is it though?
Yeah. We're expanding, so our solar system's going through the universe at such a speed of rate.
Well, just
at the same time as something else is trying to pull us back. He's pulling us back into another area.
Revolving at 900 miles an hour.
It's weird, man.
Yeah, I know. Space is a bit fucking. I'll put it in the most scientific way I can possibly think of. Spacey, wacy, timey, wimey. Yeah. Something like that.
No.
Yeah, it's all a bit cheap, fucked up, innit?
Yeah, well, we claim to know everything.
We don't know nothing. We know nothing about the space.
If you think space is weird, who is it? Someone famous come up with a quote like, "If you think space is weird, it's not half as weird as what you're going to find out
when you get there." Yeah. Exactly.
It's going to be a lot weirder and a lot more difficult.
It's going to be nothing like we expected.
Yeah. Look at quantum mechanics now. Quantum mechanics tells everything that we know now is non-existent. It doesn't exist.
Yeah,
it doesn't go that way.
Yeah, I can buy that.
But then we're
it might be having a midlife crisis.
But it works together. You know what I mean? It's how come it every little particle is together, and I'm walking down the street and none of it's splitting off to different directions. It's there's a lot out there, to a lot of questions, and I tell you what, half of them or over half of them will never be answered.
What's your most favourite unanswered question, do you think?
Oh, that's a good question, actually.
Isn't it?
Most famous unanswered. You know what? I don't know, because there's so many unanswered.
I'll have a think, because I've just come up with the question, so I don't know an answer that for myself. But we'll try and get an answer each before the end of the show. So you have a think, Other NASA news, they're back off to Pluto.
Oh, good.
Yeah, following the success of the New Horizons mission, which visited Pluto in 2015.
Yeah.
They've decided to travel back, I think.
Good.
So on the visit, Kepler belt.
The Horizon.
I think it's the KBOs.
Yeah.
Yeah, which included the distant object, which was explored by the Ultima scientists.
Yeah.
They want to go back to the dwarf planet and learn more about it. So the New Horizons had limited payloads and could only perform courtesy sort of pass by, drive by on Pluto.
Drive by? What, and it's shoot?
Yeah, because he was shooting a bit of
footage.
Yeah,
good.
So they could only do that on its on Pluto and its moons.
Yeah.
And the mission would involve sending a craft into orbit around the dwarf planet.
Yeah, I think we should.
So the data will hopefully answer some of the questions that have been raised in earlier missions.
Yeah,
and NASA is funding the study. So should be pretty good.
Well, they found a new dwarf planet, haven't they?
What?
They found a new dwarf planet in the Kuiper Belt. Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
So does that mean that's going to get added on into the list of planets? Do we have 9, 10, 11?
Well, it's not a planet. It's a dwarf planet.
It's a dwarf planet, yeah. But like I say, but it's still.
I think there's about 4 in this solar system.
Too many, right? So.
Oh no, but it's a new planet.
Yeah.
That may hold life, may not hold life, but then we haven't. See, we're looking all around the universe, and we haven't even. Found a lot.
Oh, yeah. But we're finding more, and it's all about. We've talked about this, about the observable space.
Yeah.
And it's like as we observe it, we find. We only thought that there was what was here in our solar system because that's all we could see.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah.
And now we're exploring a bit further out. We can see a bit more, so we can.
But in the past, they knew that there was something else.
It's been there all along.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So this mission is going to be part of their next survey, which is set to begin in 2020.
Oh, what? It's taking off in 2020?
Yeah,
Right,
so they're prepping
That's
for
good.
it now.
Good.
They're basically saying they're excited to have this opportunity.
Yeah, because that's such a small gap of time. Usually it takes a lot more time for them to get there. Or even, get the ship ready and, prepared what we're going to put on it, the money, where do we get it from, and when do we send it up.
Yeah, exactly. So
And
they're saying that basically the mission is to send a single spacecraft to orbit Pluto for 2 years. Before breaking away to visit at least one KBO and one other KBO dwarf planet.
Right, yeah, sweet. Good. We need to just look out.
So yeah, KBO is Kepler Belt orbit object.
Yeah.
So like you say, they found another dwarf planet in there. So that's probably one of the ones they want to visit.
Yeah, they will have a real good look out there because there's some weird.
Do you have any NASA news this week?
Yeah, I do actually. There's questions now on how do we save us from invading
ourselves.
another planet.
Come on,
like
right.
there's
so we go to another
bags
planet
full of rubbish,
right?
Or let's say microorganisms from on the moon, from
Earth.
Yeah, basically from all the land.
I've been saying this for weeks, man. I've been saying this for absolutely months, years, however long, right?
But now they're starting to talk about it a bit more seriously.
We're putting so much shit out into space that just looking round Earth, you can tell somebody lives here. From just approaching. So we begin to wonder why, potential aliens might be interested by Earth because got satellites and space debris and old,
making so much
old
noise.
bits of spacecraft, whatever, and we're putting our rubbish out into space. It's
ridiculous.
Yeah, and I won't mind though because it's all quite expensive stuff that they use to
now there's new protocols
build this stuff
to bring the stuff back down. So whatever you take up, you bring back down, and that should have been
talking about preserving nature. I mean, the fucking space is the ultimate form of that, really, isn't it? I mean, fair enough, we've got local nature that's on the planet, but
that we're killing off.
But fucking nature in its entirety comes from the stars, so you've got to be able to think, right?
The stars weren't there, we wouldn't be here.
If we're impacting the planet so much, then what are we doing to the rest of the
solar system? The solar system's going to be fucked by the time we leave it.
They'd be like, can you stop using those rockets, please? Those emissions are doing some pretty bad damage.
Well, but we're usually like that, though, aren't we? Usually use an object until we find there's something wrong with it. Yeah, we think it's going to be all right. We've done a few tests. Let's give it 20 years down the line, and we're all dead.
All comes down to what you said, though. Money.
Yeah. This is it. Money talks, bullshit walks. That's it. If you got the money, you can get things done however you want to do it. If you want to do it good, if you want to do it bad.
Yeah, there you go.
And everyone's chasing it. You know what I mean?
Aye, indeed.
If I offered you a lot of money, you'd go and do whatever I want you to do.
Not necessarily. Depends what your motives were, or if you needed
I want you to go and knock on the Prime Minister's door and kick him in the bollocks, and I will give you £1.9 billion.
I'd never get near the Prime Minister's front door for a start, right? Yeah, but you wouldn't give me the money.
Would you try it?
Well, what's the point in trying it if you know it's not going to succeed? You're never going to succeed.
If I shown it you in cash, right in front of you, and went, you see this? Yeah. This is yours. If you knock on the Prime Minister's door, kick him in the bollocks and call him an ass.
I've been to 10 Downing Street, right.
Did you do that?
Not been inside, but I've been to the gates, right.
Okay.
Firstly,
thrown
these
away
gates
from security, was
with
it?
Security gates, with police, right, and then there's
That's not
police
my
on
problem.
the door, right? No, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
so there's no
there's
way.
money there for
there's
that.
no way.
Would you
right?
attempt it?
It's because there's no point in attempting
billion.
it. There's no point in attempting it.
$3 billion.
All right then. Well,
All
okay.
right, so you
no,
agree,
listen,
then?
right? Because would I be able to just approach him in the street? No, because the terms of the conditions, I've got to knock on his door.
Yeah.
Right. Well, no. I'm turning it down then. End of.
You turn it down?
I'm turning it down because it's pointless.
You know why?
Why?
I would have done a petition to get the 100,000.
Oh, yeah.
You get through the gates.
No
there's
way.
one.
Right.
Then through the gates, and then you make sure he's in on that day. And then you make sure that the cameras are around at the time. You know, you give it all the spiel like, hey, this is for dolphins. Bang, go up to the door, knock on the door.
Then you've
he
got
answers, kick him in the balls.
The dolphin community, the dolphin loving community.
Well, you're going to get a couple of months in jail, or maybe a couple of years.
Jails. Well, mate,
what, for 2.9 billion? I would do that.
Kicking the Prime Minister, assaulting the Prime Minister.
I do for a cup of sugar and a fart. You know what I mean?
Well, there you go.
Everyone's got a price.
Taylor will do anything for a cup of sugar and a fart.
Well, not everything.
If you've got a job need doing, paint your fence, wash your dishes.
No, I want at least a five-figure salary.
He'll stash things in places that nobody would want.
Now that's 100.
He'll do it all for a cup of sugar.
Cup of sugar, yeah. Well, no, I'm off sugar.
What I'm saying is, it's like sometimes you've got to be able to use your sense and say, right, fair enough. It's enticing. You're offering me a lot of money, but is it
would do it.
Logically am I gonna be able to do this? Because first of all, full extent of the law comes to mind. Yeah, you go and set all that up.
What's the worst that can happen? A couple of years in jail, and you're gonna walk out of there a billionaire. Who's laughing? The government or you?
Mate, they'll find a way of taking it all off you.
Why? What? You're not getting it until you get out.
You just, I don't want to carry on with this because it's absolutely ridiculous for a start.
What I'm trying to explain is,
go on, explain what you're trying.
A price.
Yeah, I know, but fair dues.
Someone is willing to do something for a price. The cheaper one you can get, you know.
No,
people will do it.
Right,
people will do it.
All right, then. Sometimes it's not even a case when that term of everybody's got a price.
Yeah.
It doesn't always come down to money. Do you know what I mean?
No,
it's not always
then the price
money.
Of putting your family back together, or put a price what I'm saying.
Of, yeah. It doesn't always necessarily have to be money.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
But a majority of the time, it's usually money involved.
I think that was a bit of an extreme case, but I think in terms of doing something, like I say, these are stipulations. You can't. Sometimes you just got to pick your battles and say, do you know what? It might be enticing, but no, I'm good, mate. I'm good.
Yeah. For £1 billion, you'll sit there and think about it. If I haven't got a timetable on it. It could take you fucking 50 years, but at the end of it, you're walking away with
hypothetical, mate. Yeah, it's all hypothetical. It's doesn't matter.
But I told you how I would do it if that was the case. I would take that gamble for 1.9 billion. I'd do it for 10 million. You know what I mean? Fuck it.
We'll find out later what else Taylor will do for minimal sums of money. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not a cheap bitch.
Right. Anything else you want to talk about, or should I regret saying that, to be fair?
Assange,
I don't want to talk about anything UN-related, politics-related, or
well, it was just that the UN agreed, the experts agreed that Assange is going to be mentally scarred the way British is treating in the court and...
Well, why? Prison. What's his problem?
He was in court. Didn't you see that tweet I put on?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was a video attached, and it basically one of his friends, who a close friend to him, was talking how he was doing in court and how the justice system is actually changed. And in fact, WikiLeaks let it out years ago about one of the judges' husbands.
Right. So he's got a personal vendetta against him.
She should not be there.
Right, she's got a conflict of interest.
Yeah. And he couldn't talk. He was trying to talk, he could not talk. He's been mentally scarred, as in he's in a cell on his own. Can't have no paper, no pen, no access to computers or anything, basically. He has 1 hour, I think.
Where is he being held? Church. Where's he exactly being held?
What was it? Was it Belmarsh? I think it was Belmarsh. I think it was.
And is this any sort of special prison, or what's this? No, basically it's just a standard prison.
Yeah, it's a standard prison that they've separated him from the other prisoners.
Ah, right, okay.
So he has no one to talk. Now, if you do not talk to no one for a certain amount of time, it mentally
he's been
mentally.
But you could argue that he kind of did that to himself in the fucking.
No. Tell the truth.
No, what I'm saying is he did it to himself in that way. I'm saying, but when he kept himself in Ecuadorian fucking
because it was feared for his life.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. He put himself in that position for
If he didn't, he'd be dead
years. Now. Yeah, right. So how is it that it's just now that that it's the prison isolation and everything that's scarred him? Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because
it's like, you've been in isolation for ages, mate. Know. It's like
for 7 years, and he was he had access to computers. He could read a book. He could go out. He could put his head outside, get some fresh air. He could, eat what he wants.
But that's the thing,
so
though. It's like you say, it's the people who have been hurt by the people who've been hurt by the information being leaked are the people who are now able to
extraditing him. This is what the court case is about.
Well, you fucked yourself up, mate, because they're the angry ones. Do you know, from our perspective, it's like he's a guy who's a freedom fighter and he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
But, unfortunately, the people who are in control are the people that he's made to look a fool.
Yeah,
Do you know
and
what
they're
I mean?
the ones who should be in jail, yet the one who actually whistle blew was the one put in jail because,
That's what I'm saying, because they've got the power to do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And the only way to stop that is by the people standing up.
But is there going to be? He's obviously not in prison for being in. I mean, obviously they've not kind of convicted him.
Yeah, they convicted him for a year. Was it 52 weeks? 52 weeks, I think it was.
So how long has he got to be in there now? Then
I think he comes out next. I think it's May.
And that's him out.
Then he's coming out, but he won't be out because at the minute the court case is going on about extraditing him to America. And, the
so
company...
what America have got on him? Say similar stuff?
Years of stuff. Well, I was saying last week about, the Spanish company that was spying on the Ecuador place and seeing, what's her name? From Baywatch. Pamela Anderson, even pictures of her going to the toilet and that. They got everything, and it ended up, it was actually an American company who bought that company out, who started all the following and being the nosy fucker.
Investigation. Doing
well, it was not an
stakeouts.
investigation, it was actually a sneaky... it was a sneaky way to get past their laws.
Sneaky.
It is a sneaky way. It's like CIA
it's
kind
loopholes,
of thing.
using loopholes to
grey
get
areas.
grey areas to get
we're
what
big
they
and
want.
powerful. We do what we want.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing about with this with his case. Do you know what I mean? Like he's.
But the justice system is. I really feel bad for the next generation because this is just the start of it, and it's gonna. If it carries on, people are going to lose their rights, and then when they find out,
we're already in the midst of it. To be fair, it's like we're bringing in this sort of like how did he describe it? If it's a bit of a
they're trying to get
dystopian future.
Yeah. But it's going to be war and fucking chaos the way things are going on. You know what I mean? It's just fucking silly things going on around the world, and there's a lot of fucking lies.
Well, we're here to brighten your day, so we try.
Don't wet me whistle now.
Well, my throat's proper dry today. It's because of the weather, I think. And there's a lot of stuff going round.
What stuff?
Like bugs. Do you know what I mean?
There's always a fucking bug around.
Gotta be careful. Gotta look after yourself in the cold weather as well, especially.
Yeah, that's true.
So, today, we're going to be talking urban legends.
Legends.
Still a bit spooky. There's a couple of spooky urban legends in there. Yeah. But there's a couple of stuff that, were just generally... Where do urban legends come from?
Well, the stories, aren't they? Yeah, stuff that have happened in an area.
Yeah, well, not just generally like in the area, but...
yeah, true.
The phrase urban legend entered the popular lexicon in the early 1980s with the publication of folklore, which was by Jan Harold Bouvand. I think that's Brunvand, which
German.
must be German. Basically called The Vanishing Hitchhiker and American Urban Legends and Their Meanings. Another one called, I think that one was by W.W. Norton in 1981. So, So yeah, then it started kind of becoming like a phrase that was used quite a lot.
Okay.
So an urban legend is like a second-hand story.
Yeah,
if you like.
Yeah.
So it's a story that like, oh, I heard that so and so's husband, had this accident.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you don't know exactly because you just, heard it secondhand.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a fair few, like the kitten in the microwave or the tumble dryer.
What?
Yeah. Like pets getting put in appliances. Yeah.
Oh, my brother done that.
Well, you see, that's second-hand information to me. So if I was to go over
and tumble dryer, you should have seen it when it come out. Fucking fluffy as hell.
Well, my neighbour, I think one of my neighbours, I heard one of them saying that they put the kitten in the dryer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's like, so it's something that does happen because cats and dogs, they find warm places to sleep.
Yeah.
So if you leave the dryer door open and it's been on, then you could get in there, and then you stick it back on for an hour.
Safety, man.
Cats tumbling around inside.
Shouldn't be a donut then, should it?
Oh, well, but these things do happen.
That's true. More often than we would think.
Well, like I say, some of them don't survive. That's the point.
Yeah, that's true.
But, I mean, we've had a few questions in on the topic of urban legend.
Ooh.
Bizarre Podcast asked us, they said that they're doing an episode on Bloody Mary.
Oh.
And basically, when they growing up, it was called the Grey Lady.
Okay.
So one of these.
Which Grey Lady though? There's always a Grey Lady,
It's one of these sort
like
of
the White Lady.
Yeah. I mean, there's always a Grey Lady or a White Lady, like you say.
Yeah.
Bloody Mary's one of those ones where you say the name a few times.
Oh, right, in the mirror.
Yeah. It's an urban legend that seems to be kind of like everywhere. That most cities or most people have an urban legend of a Grey Lady or.
I've heard of the devil one. You heard the devil one?
Well, we were talking about like Candyman and stuff like that, weren't we? Like, these legends. Well, this is his question. He says, have you ever tried anything like that before?
Right.
Like the Bloody Mary or Candyman or, Beetlejuice or whatever?
No, I did. I have done a Ouija board at school.
Okay.
My mum.
And did you all push it, or did you like freak each other out, or what?
It didn't fucking work. I didn't think.
Did you not?
No, it didn't work when I was there. So you know what I mean? It's fake, mate. Nah, that was just bullshit. That. Well, but my mum and my gran, and mum had a Ouija board at my gran's, and apparently the glass had broke because she had a cross on her throat, a necklace.
Yeah.
And it started choking her. My gran actually ripped it off her. And they stopped it then, but then there was a spooky thing going on with they had like a porcelain dog, and at one day it just exploded out of nowhere, and there was spooky things going on around that time.
Okay.
But I've had it where I've moved to somewhere and there was a picture with an Indian. Well, my brother did actually. It was a picture of an Indian and a tiger behind him. It was a nice looking picture actually, so he went like, right, I'll put it up.
Sounds 70s, very 70s style.
Yeah, it was nicely done, so it was like, right, we'll put that up. So then we went out, and we come back about 2 minutes later. I think we just nipped out of the shop, come back, it disappeared, can't be found, nowhere, so we never found it again. It was like, spooky.
Yeah, that's spooky.
Yeah.
Poltergeist, maybe?
Yeah. No, poltergeists are evil little fuckers, then.
Well, I don't know, I think basically...
Yeah, have you ever heard of a nice poltergeist yet?
Do you think that, like, ghosts are, like, just imprints that they could actually... Do they actually see you? Or are they just existing on a plane that, that don't exist? Do you think these Grey Lady, it's the fact that you kind of connecting with them on a... by kind of summoning them? I don't know. There's
a new study that's just come out about Victorian scientists who thought they had the answer to actual ghosts, and it turned out that it was about a strain in your neurons. So you'd see stuff with what wasn't actually there.
Right. Okay.
And they put it down there, but back at the time, people didn't want to listen about it because in the 1848 to 1850, all this spooky stuff was going on where people could read
Yeah, like
tarot, not tarot cards. What they call
mediums.
Mediums.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've done a lot on mediums and stuff in the past.
And it come over here in 1850s to actually get people interested in it.
I think. I mean, I've done these sort of things when you try it, don't you? Like, say it 3 times.
You done a Ouija board or that?
A Ouija board, yeah, we've done them, but like I always felt like there was somebody, one of the people with us, wasn't taking it as seriously as everyone.
Yeah, you've always
messing about or trying to influence it.
Yeah,
I think if you were a few people going into it doing it, and they were really taking it seriously, you'd find out one of 2 things. It's rather it actually happening or nothing will happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if you're all taking it seriously and you all swear to God that you're not influencing it, pushing it or whatever, right? You can only trust each other. Do you know what I mean? But the fact is, if nothing's genuinely happening, then nothing should happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And
that's the test, isn't it? If it does happen, then it's like that's when you start suspecting.
Yeah,
like,
you're pushing it, aren't
exactly,
you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Honestly, mate, it's not me, me. I am really.
I mean, I've never tried to summon anything like in a Ouija board sense that, like I say, because I never felt like it was being.
I never felt that it was seriously. It's real enough.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So like, but in terms of like what Bizarre's asking us there, David from Bizarre, he's saying, have we ever tried summoning like a Bloody Mary or a
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those free time looking in the mirror type things.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I did always think about doing the devil one though.
What's that?
The devil one is on Halloween at 12 o'clock. You get a mirror, turn your lights out, and that you get a candle in front of the mirror. Yeah, and you say the Lord's Prayer backwards. Right.
Okay.
And when you say it the first time, you'll see a glimpse of something.
Right. Okay.
Right. So then you do it again. You say it again. And you see the devil slightly. But then you do it the 3rd time, and then you see the devil at his full form looking at you.
Never heard that one, to be honest.
Never heard of it?
Yeah, no, I've never heard that one.
Like the 90s, that.
Well, fair enough. We got
I might still try it,
got a question from Jessie G.
Go on, Jessie.
And basically, she's saying, what is your favourite local urban legend?
I don't know. There's loads around my way, because I live near the moors, and there's like World War II plane crashes that have happened there, and people have gone up and found rings, and then the rings have disappeared, and someone's turned around and spoke to them. And legions, there's another one. Roman legions has apparently been seen walking across there.
We've had Roman legions in the area that I'm going to talk about in a minute, because I've got a
lot
local,
of Romanry around here now.
Yeah. So you think that's your favourite one?
Because it's a big one, because it's a big area, and there's so many different stories and legends around the area. Because especially like there's like a little known hole, and it's got some devil's name, and it was supposed to be where the devil appeared because someone hadn't done the quest right.
Oh, right, okay.
And it's like, whoa, what's that?
I've got one of my favourites is it's pretty local as well, because I used to live on the clough.
All right.
Right, just at the back. Yeah, right, where so my place like kind of was just 2 seconds from this place here.
Yeah.
And it's the legend of the bogethole clough, of the boget of bogethole clough.
The bogethole clough.
Yeah, so bogethole clough, it's it says here it's a beautiful urban park. So it's a park in the middle of Blakely.
Yeah.
Which is in North Manchester.
Yeah.
Has a dark and troubled urban legend attached to it. The 190 acres of ancient woodland is said to be haunted by a boget. A boget is
what's a fucking boget?
It's a mischievous spirit which typically occupies fields and marshes.
Like a poltergeist, but in a field.
A little kind of troll type thing.
Yeah, well, poltergeists are supposed to be like these little fucking.
Oh right, no, I thought poltergeists were supposed to be like ghost spirits.
No, I remember a story of a woman in the flat.
No, you're talking about borrowers.
No, poltergeists. Poltergeists. There's a lot of stories on poltergeists when the the thing is seen, it's seen as a little object, a little man-like little thing.
Well, mostly they're known as like mischievous little creatures anyway. They can be found indoors, but they usually kind of inhabit marshlands and fields and stuff.
Like the open doors.
They've got the ability to turn milk sour.
Oh.
They've got
that's infection in the cow, that.
Make objects disappear, make dogs go lame.
What?
And also have a dark side. Bogets are also often to blame for abductions of children.
Oh.
And a good recent fictional example of a boget would be the mischievous spirit haunted by the family in the children's horror film, the Babadook or Babadook.
Babadook.
I never heard of it.
No, I don't think I've heard of it.
Yeah, so Boget Clough is said to be haunted by a boget. So
spirit.
I've never seen a boget. Seen plenty of doggers.
Yeah,
there's
definitely doggers out there.
Yeah, there's plenty going on in Boget Clough, but I've never seen a boget. But I can imagine that it is ancient woodland. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because when you were saying about Romans earlier, the area it was kind of used in a bowl.
Yeah.
And because it's kind of a dip, it's got like a valley.
Yeah.
So
there would have been a battle or two.
It was a battle or two there. They used it. Obviously, there was a bit of a kill box, if you like, at the bottom. So, like, So, yeah. But a boget is my favourite. The boget of Boget Clough is probably one of my favourite local urban legends.
You reminded me of when I heard of a story of a bridge that goes to a castle. I think it's in Wales. And what happens is when the dogs walk across with their owners, if it's not on the leash, it jumps over and kills itself.
All right. Okay.
There's been about 4 or 5 incidents. The same thing. If it's on the lead, it tries and jumps over and kills itself. And it's like it's a little mystery in the area. I have to try and remember where I've seen that, the name of the place. But I know what I ain't taking my dog there.
I've got another local one here, actually.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Screaming Skull of Wardley Hall.
Oh, right.
So, Wardley Hall is an early medieval manor in the Wardley area of Worsley.
Yeah.
It's one of the few buildings in the northwest to have a mention in the Doomsday Book.
Okay.
And basically the story goes that the house is cursed with a skull, which is... basically refused to remain buried.
Yes.
And when they throw it into the moat, it causes terrible storms.
Is this the one where there was one about history about the body that died, and then the whole village in that was getting terrible weather and bad things was happening all the time, and then for some reason their skull got taken to the house.
Well, I'll tell you. It's believed to have been the skull of Father Ambrose Barrow, who was hung, drawn and quartered back in 1641. According to the legend, he was wreaking terrible havoc if anyone attempted to remove it from the house.
Yes, that's it.
So,
so
the skull in recent times had been removed from the house without resulting in paranormal effect.
Yeah. So. Yeah, there's been some freaky shit on that.
So, but there's been a number of reported ghostly goings on in Manchester Airport over the years, dating back to the 1970s, showing there was strange encounters in the area, which are now in Terminal 3 Departure Gate. The most common account of the ghostly male figure dressed in an airman's uniform has been seen and disappeared later. One letter written in 1971 by a former airport worker revealed that there'd been encounters with an old man who'd believed to have been a ghost on a night watch, who had been killed there 3 years earlier.
Oh, see?
And he's been spotted around Manchester Airport ever since. What do you think of that one as an urban legend?
I haven't heard of it before.
Oh, yeah, it's the ghost worker of Terminal 3.
See, I heard one. What was it? There was a fire in an airport in '58, I think it was, and like 38 people died, and people every time go near that area believe they hear a child crying, and they can smell a little bit of burning.
Right, okay.
All freaky
now, there's obviously some famous urban legends.
Oh, yeah.
Like, pretty much like the...
Suicide pool?
Suicide pool, go on.
Oh, well, the suicide pool, which is in Essex, in a forest. And basically what happened was, the story says that a boy and a girl was near the pond. They were just getting together, and the father had been watching the daughter, and as soon as he started to kiss and cuddle, he jumped out of the bushes. There was a bit of a fight that went on.
Yeah.
The kid died. As soon as the boy had died, the pool had turned black.
Right, okay.
And later on, animals were found dying. The pool was, sort of polluted. And then an old lady was found years later, suicide there. Then they found a young woman and a child.
So it's like a notorious suicide spot or murder site.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, with these urban legends, they always follow tropes. So it'll be like a boy and a girl in a car and an axe murderer or something like that. Or check your back seats because there's somebody
might be there.
Somebody might be there. You know what I mean? Well, exactly. Yeah, but it's like there's so many urban legends that end with somebody on the back seat.
Yeah.
And so I think it's quite funny that these urban legends travel, and they go from city to city, and it's funny that they're very similar, if not the same. I mean, we go into details, and there are local urban legends linked to local landmarks and spots, but generally, there's a trope of urban legends like that kind of travel, and people because it is a second-hand story. Do you know what I mean? So some of them might have happened once, and it's got about. I mean, there's plenty of them out there, in terms of.
Here's one: the hellhounds.
Yeah. Well, again, we've got the beast of Bogman.
Bogman,
and there's been panthers spotted and all sorts. Do you know what I mean?
The beast where there was some marshes, Hackney marshes actually, in the 1980s. 2 bears were found floating down the river with the heads chopped off.
Right.
So people were questioning what the fuck could chop 2 bears' heads off. You know what I mean? There must be something big and
something big enough to chop a bear's head off, basically.
So about a year later, 4 young boys were walking down the path near the water, and then they seen some big grey kind of animal. They screamed. It got up in its 2 feet, screamed. It made a big noise and then fucks off.
Well, there's an urban legend which is just basically called the Black Dog, which is name given being found primarily in folklore in Great Britain and Ireland.
Yeah.
The Black Dog is essentially basically a big black devil hellhound.
Yeah.
And it appears, basically when people are at the point of death, and generally supposed to be larger than a normal dog, and often has glowing eyes. So could that be the same thing, or?
Oh yeah, I reckon so.
An encounter with the hellhound, the Black Dog.
Yeah,
potentially, because like you say, the hellhounds. Mate, if you're on that moor, you fucked.
Yeah, fucking damn right.
You fucking got nowhere to go.
You know what? I think I've got the answer to what's my favourite. My real favourite urban legend.
Local, is it? Oh, right, favourite
urban legend.
Right,
I would have to say the Mothman.
Oh, right, okay.
The Mothman prodigy. yeah, there's just something there that, like, you know, that answers some things, and it just works for me.
Well, we've got. Have you heard of the hook hand?
The hook hand?
Or the hook?
No, didn't we send him away?
Also called Hookman. It's a classic example of urban legends. Basically, in post-war America, it was recounts of a story of a murderee with a hook hand.
Oh no!
So you know, like again, Candymanish.
Yeah.
So that was an urban legend that was turned into a movie. So, well, what other urban legends have been movified? Do you think?
Corpse Train.
What?
The Corpse Train.
Which one's that?
It's a legend in London, basically, when the diseases and all that were, you know, strifing the centre of London.
Yeah.
Then they'd send a train out full of corpses to an outside area.
Yeah.
But they realised they couldn't do it on top. There'd be complaints and problems, so they had to do it underneath in an existing old tunnel system.
Right.
So when some of the underground tunnels right next to it is where they used to keep the dead bodies.
Right. Okay.
So that's why sometimes you'll see they be telling stories of seeing ghosts on the tracks and.
I mean, they're not always kind of like supernatural as well. These urban legends as well. True. So I mean, have you heard about the vanishing hitchhiker? Yeah. Yeah. So it's basically there's been so many vanishing hitchhikers stories. I think we talked about this one recently actually in one of our haunted stories. Yeah. But this is an urban legend that basically where it was people were travelling in a vehicle. They pick up a hitchhiker who then basically vanishes off the back seat without but gives them some warning or some sort of advice.
Slow down.
Yeah, exactly. Too fast. Yeah, because it was like a notorious accident spot. Yeah. And obviously this ghost potentially could have died in one of these accidents.
Oh yeah. But
in urban legends, it's kind of one of those where it's like. It's usually like not a wives' tale, but like a yarn or something that's gonna what do they call them in like a parable, like a lesson to be learned in these stories.
Yeah, it's like the boy crying wolf.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's a story it's supposed to warn you. Yeah. But give you a bit of common sense and a bit of advice with it. So, I mean, a lot of them do have a sort of underlying, what you should have done was, you know what I mean? Yeah. Don't be put in this position, remember this story. Yeah. And it's always like those ones that mums use against you, like, I know a guy. Yeah, you don't want to end up like Cousin Joe's daughter or whatever, because they can use this story to scare you, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So
just different people doing them different tactics now. That's all.
Have you got any more? There's one here, the Vanishing Lady, aka the Vanishing Hotel Room. During an international exploration in Paris, a daughter leaves her ill mother in a hotel room. Yeah. When she comes back, her mother is gone. And the hotel staff claim that they have no knowledge of the missing woman.
Oh.
It's later that she's revealed that the mother was dying of the plague. Fearing the, the negative impact on the hotel and the public image, the staff just basically disposed of the mother.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
So, but they basically...
But then does that come down to murder?
What?
Does that come down to murder?
I'd say so. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's manslaughter more than likely because you know that it's there. You just got rid of it instead of taking it to the authorities. Yeah,
definitely. I think the end of the day, I think it was probably at a time where it was if it was rife. Then it was
the morgue's already full up, mate. Just shove it down.
But it's probably a really kind of good time for murder. Do you know what I mean? If you wanted to get rid of somebody and they were like a bit, get them infected with the plague, or just say that they had the plague and died of the plague. You know what I mean? There was that many bodies, like you say, coming through the morgue. It's like, and no real means of DNA testing, like we were saying.
Time restriction, you know what I mean? As well.
It's like, you can't, you've just got to chalk it down. I reckon it was probably a really good time for murdering people.
Oh, yeah.
During the plague days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, to be fair, yeah.
Yeah. Now it'd be a little bit more difficult, but back then, so easy.
List a couple more urban legends that are notable. The Paul is Dead urban legend, which we covered in episode 1 of Never a Straight Answer podcast.
Yes, we did.
Somebody asked us to do a recap of it at some point.
Right.
Said there's new evidence. We'll have to have a look into it, see if this new evidence stacks up. The Slender Man, which we've also covered. We've done a full episode on the Slender Man.
Yeah.
What else? Killer on the back seat. Yep.
Yeah.
There's always a killer on the back seat. Told you I check your back seats whenever you go anywhere, if you're doing a bit of shopping or whatever.
That might be there. The Faceless Woman.
The Faceless Woman. Go on. Give us that.
Barkingside in London.
What?
Barking in London. Brecott Tree Station. 1992. There was a guard a manager who'd said that he'd seen a woman on the station.
Right.
And he walked up to her to ask her, like, is she all okay? She turned round. She had no face. Yeah. And there's been a few...
no, I've seen this, yeah. Right.
You've seen it? What, you've seen it?
No, I know this story, right.
About 1958, about the...
There was a... No,
train wreck.
There was a girl... who this guy saw on a train station, right? And he went over... This is what the thing about urban legends. It's like, you go, I've heard this one, but it's slightly different to the way... Now, the way I heard this was the guy, he thought that he saw this girl way across the other end of the station, but she looked like she was a little girl on her own, right?
Yeah.
So he was like, a bit worried. He walked over.
Yeah.
Say, all right, you're okay there, little girl. And it turned out to be a statue, right, with no face, and he felt a dickhead because it was a statue.
Oh right, no, he reported that she was a woman there and she had no face, and they put it down to there was a train wreck that happened in 1958 where there was 10 people who died there. Because she was dressed in that kind of fashion, basically. Yeah. But, there's no statue there. As far as I'm aware, anyway.
I've got an urban legend for you. Have you ever been cow tipping?
Oh, no.
No, but I bet you know a man who has. I bet you have. Do you know what I mean? There's always somebody you know, somebody who's gone cow tipping.
No, I don't think they got the balls to.
Urban legend of tipping over cows, the activity of sneaking up on an unsuspecting and sleeping upright cow and pushing it over for entertainment.
Do it to a bull.
Tits.
Like to see you fucking run then.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's big in the UK as much as it's big in the States.
No, I don't think it is, but I think after people were talking about it in the United States on programs like Friends and stuff like that, people come over here and did it. People have done it when they've been out pissed out of their fucking nut.
Do you think?
Yeah, without a doubt they have.
Well, there you go. Well, we'll hope that... I've got no more urban legends to go through. I think we've breezed through them a bit quick.
Sawney Bean.
What?
Sawney Bean. Alexandra Sawney Bean, who lived up in Scotland, whose family were cannibals. Right? So they lived in a cave. There was him, his wife, 14 children.
Yeah.
32 grandchildren, which include incest children.
What?
Yeah. They lived in the cave. They were like rebels. So what they used to do is they used to hit people on the path.
And then drag them into the cave. Yeah. Drag them into the cave.
Cut them up. Eating little pieces that they had left. They put in pickle jars. What? Later on. Yeah, this is true. Supposed true story. King James VI of Scotland headed out to go and find him. And he found him and killed him. And it's said that at Ben Hay Head of Scotland, the cave is around that area, and it is said that you can hear things and the spooky stuff that goes on.
Right, okay.
It's like, ooh.
I have actually got one more.
I think that was my last one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Right, well, my last one, it's not really a thingy. It started off being a bit of an urban legend, but then I think they've worked out what it is now.
What, pickle in a jar?
No, it was the mysterious haunting of the spinning statue in Manchester Museum.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
this was another local urban legend, and it was basically an Egyptian statue.
Yeah.
That was on display in Manchester Museum of Natural History, and what was happening was they put this statue under lock and key in a cabinet.
Doesn't get open.
Yeah, it's not been opened.
Never cleaned and that. Left it as it is. It's sweetened up.
They noticed that it was moving, like
Inch
on its
by
own.
inch,
There was tiny movements, but over the course of a day, it turned literally around.
Yeah.
Right? So they looked into it. They basically put a camera on it, and they found, saw it moving.
They watched it move. Yeah.
Seeing it moving.
Yeah.
After speeding it up and stuff.
So
they were really kind of like freaked out, and then this urban legend about it being a haunted statue in Manchester Museum came out, and then they worked out that because of the road vibrations,
it's been moving.
It was moving slightly throughout the day.
Yeah, but surely it would hit the glass. This is the thing I can't understand. It should be, because if it was moving, it wouldn't move.
Well, it depends how kind of the underside of the statue. If it was kind of a bit kind of pivoty, then it might just be vibrating enough to make it spin around.
What,
do you know what I mean? Well, yeah.
Without hitting the glass, or
I don't know. Well, it was might have been a bigger case than that. Do you know what I mean? If there was a couple of objects in it. So,
well, that's one case solved.
But yeah, that's a urban legend that's been debunked. It's been squashed.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's like, oh well, no, we can always go, oh well, we know what that was now. Yeah. So it's not a haunted statue. It was road traffic.
Well, that's what the hunters look for, and if they find
it's good. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying earlier about when you were asking about Ouija boards. It's like, if you can turn around and say, well, that is a good prover of the people of people taking it seriously, is the fact that if it doesn't move, then you know that everyone's not pushing it, because everyone's going, nothing's happening.
That's the thing. Then you're going to have doubt in your head, and then it's going to be a case of what if. Funny enough, what if?
Well, then what if it moves?
Yeah, exactly. It moves straight away as soon as you to something like no, or start spelling out something stupid.
Yeah.
Then it's. I mean, there's only so much strength you've got in your finger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
So
it's true that
you. I reckon one person could do it, but they'd have to have trained the finger for a fucking while. You know what I mean?
What was that? Was it a movie called Urban Legends?
I think might have been. No, are you thinking of that Tom Cruise one?
I don't know. Hang on, let me Google it quick time.
Urban Legends. Oh, what was that? It was a pretty good film, actually, that Tom Cruise one. What we'll see. So what else do we have?
Urban Legends movie. Yeah. 1998 Americans, a slasher film.
Oh, slasher film.
Yeah. I'm sure. I thought it was. I thought it was like one of those movies that came out around about the time of Final Destination and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1998 kind of does fit into that.
Is it the one with Tom Cruise?
No, I don't think it's got Tom Cruise. It looks like a bit of a... Yeah.
It's too busy doing Top for Good now, isn't it?
Well, there was an Urban Legend sequel, so...
I see.
Yeah. Oh, Urban Legends Bloody Mary back in 2005. That was the latest one.
See?
Yeah, so if you want to go and check that out. Yeah, so that's pretty much it on urban legends.
Yeah.
So I know we kind of got loads of them, so it was just kind of like getting through them. But I think we've answered a few people's questions as well.
I think we have.
And I like the fact that
there
was some local ones in there as well.
Yeah.
And that's fun because, like, obviously, I was saying that most of them cover archetypes and that.
Yeah.
But a couple that we've covered tonight are our local ones.
Yeah.
Were very unique to our local areas.
Yeah,
so if
funny enough, I live near two of them.
That's what I mean.
Stories
so
well.
if you've got a local urban legend that is very unique to your area, like to hear about it, we might put it up on the blog. Yeah. If you send us your urban legends, then like the best, say 5 or however many we send, we'll put them in a blog. Yeah. And put them up on the website.
We will.
So wicked episode. I think.
Yeah.
I think the boget. I'm going to catch the boget. Yeah. I think I'm going to go boget hunting. Yeah. Try and catch it.
Right, you be doing
I'll give you full reports in the future on my findings when trying to find the boget.
In the wind touching your hair as you're passing.
Fucking little boget bastard. Come here, you little shit.
Make you standing couch.
Well, we'll find out. Firstly, I need to find out what they eat. Yeah. Because I can get the food. If I can find a lure them in with a trap. The mischievous, so maybe I can plant something that they can't resist. You know, no, something they can't resist messing with. Oh, yeah. If they're mischievous, then there's a way. Like you say, everyone's got a price. Everyone's got a price, and we can get them on something. So I'll catch that boget yet. If you want to get in touch with us, you can email us and send us your urban legends. You can. Or any question you've got relating to topic or otherwise to neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. Or you can just go to the website now, which is all up and running, singing and dancing, looking fantastic. You can get us over at neverstraightanswer.co.uk. You can contact us through the website. You can go buy merch, check out our blogs and case files. Yeah,
case files.
Listen to and download the podcast. Yeah, as well as other news and stuff that's going on. Yeah. So check it out. Everything's on there. Also, we're available on every podcast platform around. So that makes my life so much easier. Go to neverstraightanswer.co.uk.
And you can get everything in one go.
Sunshine indoors, everything under one roof.
That's it.
That's what it is. Yeah.
It is.
That's what you like. But we love to hear from you. So get us your questions, get us your stories. And you might find that we'll read them out on the show. Yeah. We've also got a lot of shout-outs quickly before we go.
Oh, beautiful.
As always, we've got great fans and great listeners who come back.
Oh, yeah.
And we love to give you a shout-out. So we've got Nick from Tennish Podcast.
Go on, Nick.
Big fan, always been a big supporter of Tennish. A new Twitter follower, TV Channeling Podcast.
Oh, welcome.
Welcome to you guys. Big shout out. If you've not checked them out, go and check them out. I'll probably check them out at some point. Jessie G, thanks for the question.
Yeah,
hopefully, if you're in the UK early next year, then we'd love to have you on the show.
Yeah,
we'll make it work if we come to you or whatever. We'll make it easier for you. I know it's time permitting when you're on vacation or whatever.
Yeah.
Podcast HQ, big shout out to you.
What podcast?
Mr. Shirley Crabtree.
Yeah, man.
Long time listener.
Yeah.
We're a big time fan of you.
Defo.
Swoosh for being and Jay for being our Patreons.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Dunk Dunk. Sorry I couldn't make it to the party tonight.
Next time, man.
EJ, big shout out to you. Yeah, thank you for your support. And also Gareth.
Yeah, Gareth, keep trucking, man.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to Sean. Do you know the guy from the zombie board game
last
week?
Yeah.
He sent us some recommendations and said we should try a few of these games, but he'd hit us up a bit later on with an update on his board game. Zombie board game.
Man. Please do. Look forward to listening how far it goes, man.
Big shout out to the last weekly podcast.
Yeah,
we also had a big comment from Commander Spock.
Commander Spock?
On Twitter.
Oh,
basically
nice.
Says, the zombie apocalypse is already here. when people are walking around with fucking
Mobile phones.
and stuff
I'm
like
with
that.
you there. I'm
I said,
with
yeah,
you
I totally
100%,
agree with you,
man. Yeah.
to be honest.
People need to lift their heads up and stop putting it down.
James the Voice Stafford also asked for a shout out.
Yeah, James.
And Michael Hot Toast.
Michael Hot
Toast. He's I'm like, yeah, if you can do my Toast of London impression, because you know he's hot toast.
Yeah.
Where else would you find
toast?
Bon Jovi, Madame Gaga, and the Coldplay, along with Hot Toast and the Dirty Poor podcast.
Yeah.
So there you go. Big shout out to you guys.
Yeah, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. So there you go.
Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed the show.
Yeah,
I think I've enjoyed it. It's I do like these little ones where it's not so much one topic.
Yeah,
I mean, it is a topic. It is a topic. We've got urban legends, but there's a lot of different little aspects.
Yeah,
so I do like those ones where we do like Men in Black files or know UFO files or whatever. So I think we're going to have a big topic next week. We'll let you know what that is a bit closer to the time. So if you've got any questions, you can get involved. Other than that, that's the end of the show. We'll be back for a midweek extra. Again, if you want to get in touch, it's neverstraightanswer.co.uk, and you can find out everything you need to know about how to get in touch with us over there. I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
And we'll see you next time.
Yes, we will.
Peace.
Oh, I'm going to have a cup of tea now.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.